The fight with Vendetta and Singularity. They had to work together, and then they figured out that they were siblings. But there was a monster on the way, and Vendetta built a giant robot. At this point, Vendetta has only been in 3 years in the agency, but it's always almost the top agent besides Brutus, of course. At least back in the day. The monster just hit the island. So it was time for this robot to start defending this island. Of course, the robot needed to get on top of things and try to not destroy as many buildings as possible. But the main thing that they had to keep safe was the teleporter. Just in case, as a last resource. The Infinity Blade was grown to a crazy amount of size, but only used when needed to. Neo Tilted was on the verge of destruction, or this whole island was on the verge of destruction. Buildings already collapsed, but some could hold the robot, luckily. The robot just preparing and just learning all of the moves. Learning how to do all these crazy moves. But then, it was about to everything was about to go down. But then it saw it burst out of the water. The robot started running towards it, getting his swords out. At this point, the battle was about to begin. At this point, the robot was obviously winning, but the battle just started. This would be one of the craziest things in history. But then, the robot was hit by a big flame from the monster's mouth, so it had to run, and it had to set some things that were about to blow up. But it actually made the monster stronger, and it made it fire another beam at the robot. At this point, hiding beside buildings, the robot was so weak, it had to run from Neo Tilted. But the monsters kept on following it as it started to run to Neo Tilted, as it ran out of Neo Tilted, stomping everywhere. The monster doesn't even know where this island takes, what places are on this island. So it does give the robot a big advantage. But it can also smell robots as well, probably. The robot saw that monster running so fast. The robot took a lot of damage to its legs and couldn't move as fast, but still could move pretty fast. But at this point, the robot has not that many places to hide. But he does have a few more spots where he could go and hide. Wait, let's pause the video. Listen, it took 1 hour, one entire hour, not lying to you guys, 1 entire hour of building this whole map. This is a mini scale of what the island looked like back in the old days in Season 9. Please like the video and subscribe because I am very tired and I'm gonna go to bed soon. So yeah, back onto the episode. The robot had to go to places where the robot thing, when no one knew the robot actually could fit into. But apparently the robot was too big and fat. But he still managed to get through some crevices. But then, once the robot jumped up into the air, that beam was fired back at him. That robot was left running for its life. At least the people inside of it were very important people to this series. At that point, Wailing Woods just got ran over and destroyed by a giant robot and a monster. But then it was time. But the robot was knocked out and all power was lost. At this point, the robot could not move, but it was stood still. As the robot ran to the giant power thing, the robot got all of its energy back and hopped on top of it. And it gave the robot so much power. It pushed the monster all the way back over there into Wailing Woods. But then it was it was time. The power of the Infinity Blade was wielded. And it was time to do some damage. That monster ran so fast, but there's no way it can get away. At this point, the battle was about to just start getting real crazy, because that monster could take a lot more hits. You even know how fast that monster could run. But then the monster got a bunch of energy from where it was standing. And then it blasted a crazy beam. At this point, Vendetta in there said this. That thing is acting like it's Godzilla, but it's not invincible like that thing. Godzilla gets more fame than this thing. But the robot quickly destroyed all those things that was giving the monster power. But there was also more things on this island that were giving it its power, and they knew what it was, and they ran to destroy it quickly. Because the more power that thing got, the more invincible it would become. But the monster is running even closer to some of the things that gave him its power. Like the ice cubes. He jumped all on top of it. Not even the Infinity Blade could destroy that thing. Damn! The monster fell off. And the thing blew up. With the robot barely escaping from it. destroying one of the island's most beautiful things. They hated themselves, but they had to destroy the last thing that was the last two things that were giving the thing power. But at this point, the monster is running back to Tilted for some reason. But it was running towards the giant orb thing. But at this point, the robot realized it had to destroy the whole town to get to it, to the thing. But it was too late at this point. That thing was almost destroyed, but they finished off the monster just in time, just to completely finish it off, to burst it with the orb. And one last hit. Finished it all. At this point, the whole town had to be destroyed. Because the whole island and all the buildings needed to be destroyed. So that thing's body doesn't get any more power. Everything had to be destroyed, especially the power lines. Everything was the Neo Tilted was destroyed. Not everything was destroyed though. At this point, the robot officially won. But the robot knew the Infinity Blade was too powerful for anything or anyone. So it decided to crack 90s and leave forever. And then eventually did this. But of course Singularity hopped out. Then the robot was destroyed. And that is where this episode ends. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all have had a great day. Thank you. I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm tired and I spent 1 hour making that map. A 14-minute episode. Well, the reason there's 2 episodes out today is because the Deadpool one was short. You'll definitely see the robot and the monster in future episodes in season 3 actually. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Episode 5 will come out tomorrow, maybe 6 if I have more time. The more episodes, the cooler. Just want to thank y'all for watching. Have one of the greatest days of all. And bye.